Test, test. All right. Let's get started. Let's get started. Good evening, everyone. My name is Peter Bass. I am the principal at Groton Middle School. I have a special message to all our middle school students who are here performing tonight. Remember, please, you are also audience members. Please be respectful of your peers as they perform this evening. Give them your attention and your silence when necessary, and appropriate applause when it's time. All right? I know you're going to do great. So welcome to the Fitch High School Auditorium here on our shared Falcon campus. It's my pleasure to introduce this evening. But before we really get into the fun part, a little bit of business, in case there's an emergency, there are exits in the rear of the auditorium and on either side. And please put your phones in silent mode at this time. Students, one last reminder, respectful audience participation. All right? These students have been hard at work with their leaders. You're going to hear from the jazz band first tonight, led by Mr. Burdensee, our band director, and later on you're going to hear from our orchestra, led by our director of the orchestra, Miss Gray. Both these faculty members have been really hard at work with our students, and I think you're going to be impressed with the results tonight. Thanks for coming. Now here's Mr. Burdensee. Enjoy.
Good evening. So today was one of those very interesting days in that we knew an impending storm was coming. So the last two groups, the jazz band and the concert band, rehearsed down in the band room. We didn't get to come up here and rehearse, so we had to test out the waters a little bit and work on balance and all that. The jazz band in front of me started late in January, and the first piece that I selected, Stand By Me, it's a great tool to teach more of a beginning group because it's a very young group. All our veteran players left last year, and we have 2 8th graders this year and the rest 7th and 6th graders. So I said, well, this will be an easy piece. Everyone knows it. And I started rehearsing it, and I went, oh, my gosh, what am I going to do now? This is the easy piece. Well, as a band director, I know to be patient, and I decided to do sectionals and stuff. And this small group of 16 people has grown tremendously. And it's not the same group, which is good, because you'd be getting up and walking out if it were. We would love to start with Stand By Me, a wonderful piece of music. I hope you enjoy it. It wasn't working out, sorry. 1, 2. So we have a lot of wonderful performing groups this evening. I want to keep things moving ahead because I got to go home and watch the Celtics win. So the second selection you'll recognize as a little bit of soul. And finally, Harlem Nocturne, which you will always also notice because it's described as a hauntingly ballad, beautiful ballad, that achieved notoriety as the theme song from the television Mike Hammers.
opening number, Marbles Falls Rondo, is named for Marble Falls, a waterfall in the Ozark Mountains of Arkansas. Marble from the quarry was used to build Washington Monument in D.C. Next, you'll perform Pizzicato Parade, performed entirely pizzicato, meaning we pluck the string rather than use our bows. Siobhan and Josias will add percussion.
Following will be our third piece, Dominion, which was written to capture the emotion during war and is a call to action. to showcase our developing skill. The cello section will lay down the groove, and then away we will rock.
overture Regular Concerto by Bach, written in 1721, followed by the famous 1812 overture by Tchaikovsky, written in 1870. The song depicts the Battle of 1812 between Russia and Napoleon of France.
It is noted for the Russian folk songs and French themes throughout the piece. Is often performed at 4th of July celebrations in our country, punctuated with fireworks as cannons are a part of the original score. We will rock out with a final symphonic orchestra number, Fire in the Forge.
numbers, which are combined with all 99 of my orchestra students. I want to take a quick second to recognize my graduating eighth graders, and to make it quick, this is the plan. I'm going to say their first name, they're going to pop up, and you aren't going to clap until I've got through everybody, okay? Ready? Brandon's going to wave. All right, Brandon, and then Soli. Standing up. Naomi, Zoe, Alicia, Kaden. Can you stay standing? Stay standing. Stay standing. Holden, Layla, Gabby, Aijana, Sophia, Josh, Marunmai, Alexia, Ava, Kevin, Larry, Natalie, Rainiel, Adrian, Kaylin, Maureen, Venus, Isabella, and Evie. Applause for all my graduating 8th graders. All right, our next song is called Sweet a Moment, and I'm gonna dedicate it to my graduating eighth graders, hopefully that they remember all the sweet music moments that we have shared together over the last 3 years. That's one of the lucky things about being a music teacher is that we get to build this great musical relationship with our students for three years and really see what their growth is. And then after we play Sweet Moment, we're gonna finish with a piece called Fancy Fiddles. And we are inserting a little piece called Devil's Dream. The Symphonic Orchestra worked on learning how to play that song super fast. So I could play it in 12 seconds. The next was like 15 seconds. And then I think we're probably gonna play it today, and it's probably like a 25-second speed. And then we'll also have a couple of improvs by the Symphonic Orchestra members. Thank you so much for your support of our music program, and I hope you enjoy Sweet Moment and Fancy Fiddles.
welcome to the concert band portion of the program. When they came in September, it was a completely different sound. I said, wait till the spring. And you could hear a big difference in their playing. So I have students who are going to introduce each of the pieces. And the first piece, Cimarron, is going to be introduced by Gabriela Delora. Stay still.
Cimarron. Larry Clark writes this about his composition Cimarron. It has become synonymous with the western part of the United States. There are towns, canyons, and rivers that share its name. The title was selected because the music seems to depict the bold and dynamic nature of the West. The beginning of this composition is bold and fanfare-like, and it builds to a faster tempo with a more lyrical middle section that interplays with the initial fanfare main theme.
Next, we have a piece called Labyrinth that will be introduced by Ryan.
In Greek mythology, the labyrinth was a deviously intricate maze constructed by the great architect Daedalus to house the Minotaur. This creature, half man and half bull, would eat 14 Athenian children every 9 years as part of an agreement between King Aegeus of Athens and King Minos of Crete. Theseus, son of King Aegeus, traveled to Crete to save the children and kill the Minotaur. With the help of Minos' daughter, Princess Ariadne, Theseus entered the labyrinth with a ball of string and a sword. Tying the string at the entrance and unrolling it behind him so he could find his way out, Theseus found the Minotaur at the center of the maze and killed him.
Nice job, man. Next, Julia Spini will introduce Cantus.
This 12th century play song begins Cantus with a simply stated melody. Musical elements intermingle as the pace quickens and the texture becomes increasingly complex. Cantus concludes with a meditative chorale and echoes of the opening musical phrases. Cantus is like a song of life. It takes us through innocence, moving with the ebb and flow of day-to-day activities, eventually being brought to fulfillment and ultimately to a final triumphal end.
Listen to me. If you lost the wallet, you need to see. You lost the wallet. After I'm all done, you need to see that. To introduce our last piece is Kristen Neff.
This celebratory work is both vibrant and sophisticated. The phrasing, articulation, and key change, along with its flowing melodies and counter melodies, make for a great, majestic closer to our portion of this evening's concert.
Next row. My percussion. Come up. Watch yourself. Take your time.
So the last group, concert band, I'm really impressed with what they did. And thanks to our administration, it's the first year we had a schedule that was a little more conducive to teaching, which means since we don't have pull-out lessons like we used to when we went to the one middle school, we have separate sections for woodwinds, brass, and percussion, which made a world of difference in everything we did this year. So thanks to our administration for fighting for that for us. It's made a tremendous difference. We good now? Percussion, you good back there? Okay. So our first piece is, this is the Symphonic band. So the other group was 6th and 7th graders. This is 6th, 7th, and 8th graders. So we would like to start with March to Castle Rock, and it's going to be introduced by Samara LaFontaine. I'll get it right by 8th grade.
March to Castle Rock is set in a martial style, that is, a military march-like style with a robust rhythm and not too fast tempo. This exciting march begins and ends forcefully with a flowing middle section to provide an effective contrast to the opening phrase. Abounding with rhythmic vitality and aggressive dynamics, this march is guaranteed to please all.
That's great. Now we're going to switch to a completely different type of music and style, and to introduce it is Jaden.
The simplicity of the music of cathedral resembles the earlier music from church. The rhythmic freedom and the rubato-like response, along with the orchestral chimes, provide the free-flowing music associated with Gregorian chant.
Next, introducing, I'm getting my exercise. The Tempest is Chloe Nahas.
The Tempest is a programmatic work meant to depict a breaking storm at sea. The introductory statement in the clarinets and low woodwinds provides a sense of mystery and independent energy. The entire woodwind choir begins the second phrase, and then the brass and percussion sections enter, unleashing the storm.
Next to introduce Fugeda is Nicholas Yavoli.
Fugeda translates to Little Fugue, a compositional technique used during the Baroque era, especially by Bach and Handel. You will hear the melody, called the subject, introduced at the beginning by the flutes and clarinets. 3 measures later, the subject is answered by the trumpets. This 3-measure motif is developed using clever techniques such as counterpoint, imitation, and sequence, all intertwined within this 2-minute-long composition.
I'm not sure what all that means. next selection, aggressivo, one of my favorites, describes me, is, oh, you can laugh. It's okay, really. We'll try that again. I love aggressivo because it kind of describes who I am. Now you're awake. So we had Bandapalooza back at the end of March, and some of the members play this. So we're going to play it again because it's now a little faster. Yeah. And to introduce it is harmony. Stop it.
Aggressivo by Randall Standridge is a piece intended for band that explores aggressive rhythmic patterns and musical expression. The rhythmic motive heard at the very beginning appears in 3 forms: the melody, accompaniment, and as an ostinato pattern. A secondary idea heard as a rhythmic and chromatic element creates shocking dissonance in the composition. This piece accumulates with both main ideas battling against one another.
So, I know it's late. Here's the issue. Music, when I have a group of musicians in concert band, in symphonic band, jazz band, playing like this, and what the orchestra does, we're gonna go for it. So just bear, we have one more piece to do. And, but I have to do some thank yous. It has been a marathon concert week starting on Monday. High school choral concert, Tuesday, middle school choral concert, Wednesday, high school concert, instrumental, and tonight. Each night, there are many of us behind the scenes who tore down the stage and had to reset it. We had to have things ready to go. We were able to have the first block rehearsal because the weather was good. So there are a lot of behind the scenes, and the music teachers up here, Mrs. Hall and Ms. Shabazian, they really go out of the way. The custodians, they were up helping. Andy Kidd, Mark Russell, everyone comes up and joins in. Down there, there's communication that goes on to make this happen. It's a lot of work, but man, it's well worth it when you hear this. So I want to thank our administrators and teachers for all the support they give us, because it's really phenomenal. And then the school, we are one campus, but doing concert is a bit of a challenge, because all the instruments came up. The percussion stuff, the big stuff, was here yesterday. So when we rehearsed today at school, we didn't have the drums. So I didn't know what we were going to sound like, and they adjusted beautifully. So thank you to all those. I already mentioned Andy Kidd, who's in charge doing sound technician, Mark Russell, all his people, that same people coming and doing the videotaping so you can see it. It's on YouTube. So give them a round of applause, please. So, last week, I think, it's all a blur at this point. We had our awards ceremony, and members of the 8th graders, some of them got certificates. So when it came time to give the Excellence Award, I read off the names, and Miss Seeley helped distribute their certificates. And then as I'm driving home, I go, did I call so-and-so? So when I got home, I texted Mrs. Seeley, and she emphatically said, no. And I went, ruh-roh. So the minute I got to school the next morning, I checked my computer and spreadsheet, which I created, and sure enough, her name was on there. So I went, uh-oh. So I checked the master list that I submit to Mr. Bass, and her name wasn't on there. And I felt really bad. So she doesn't know I'm doing this. She doesn't want me to do it, which is okay. She doesn't get to make the decisions. I do. So with my humblest apologies, I present the Certificate of Excellence to Caitlin Brumbaugh. So this is always a bittersweet time, because I have to say goodbye to some wonderful students. So if you come to our concerts, this is kind of fun. Yeah, I'm going to take more of your time. I don't care. So we do the J-Woo double clap. J-Woo is Johnson and Wales. So when I call a name, so for instance, I say, Mr. Bass, you go. Mr. Bass. Mr. Danielick. A little better. Mrs. Gray. Oh, come on, you're good now. So, as I list, come sit down, percussionists. Remember, you're supposed to sit down. So, as I call their name, they will stand up and stay standing, and you will do a double clap for each one of them, and then we'll do a round of applause. 2 people couldn't be here from the percussion section. One is Summer Azevedo, Mason Gomez. Oh, you're pros now. And start standing, please. Julian Hernandez, Richie Ortiz, Zach Palmer, Tristan Phillips, Kaya Saladin. Also not here, Chase Smith. You lagged on that one. Jackson Cooley. Alex Galusis. Alex Miranda. Xavier Herschel. James Lebrano. Jacinia Hightower. Jeffrey Hipsky. Michael Malone. Sergio Zulaga Manaya. Wait a minute, it's a 3-parter. You gotta wait for all 3. Sergio Zulaga Manaya. I had to practice that one a lot. Milo Chaparini. Veronica Codd. Caitlin Brumbaugh. Savannah Snyder. Did I leave anyone out? Oh, yes. Round of applause. Thank you. Have a seat. So, you can sit down now, bunch of hams. So, if you went to the spaghetti dinner and you went to Bandapalooza, you heard only the first third of this selection. I've got great news. You get to hear the whole thing in its entirety. It's great. And to introduce it is Tristan Phillips. Did you forget it?
Thanks. Phantom of the Opera contains 3 of the most memorable themes from this dramatic musical production by Andrew Lloyd Webber. The Phantom of the Opera, All I Ask of You, and the Music of the Night.
Thank you all for coming this evening and supporting our program and giving me these wonderful students to work with. Have a great summer and a healthy one.
Make sure